We just wrapped up the lesson on Introduction to Public Speaking, covering the introduction. Now, let's focus in on the body of the speech. This is the largest part of your speech. It holds your central ideas of the speech. This is where your main points are located, and this is where the information from your speech should be shared. How do you prepare? Usually, you prepare the body of the speech first, and then you can build your introduction and conclusion around the main points. Your main points. You should have 3. Studies show that when audience members hear a speech, if the speaker only brings 2 main points, it's too few, and audience members are left feeling like they didn't receive enough information. During the same study, if audience members heard 4 or more main points, they felt overwhelmed and stressed. So 3 main points or 3 supporting points is the ideal amount of subject to bring for your speech. Now, the length of your presentation should be determined on the amount of description and examples provided. It does not matter if I give a speech that's 4 minutes long or 40 minutes long. Every speech will only have 3 main points. Signposts or transitions. These are words that signal to the audience that you're changing your points in your speech. Things to avoid. Many first-time speakers will start to ramble during their main points. Make sure that when you are bringing up your points, that you're being very direct with your word choices. Also, just like we discussed with the introduction, make sure you are avoiding negative words. Tips for the body of your speech. Use transition words to signal when one point is done and you're starting another point. Practice your speech in front of people to see if they can follow your speech topic or if they look confused. You can even ask these audience members to write down what they think your 3 main points are. If you get back different answers, then you've confused some of your audience members, and you need to be more deliberate in how you use your signpost. Tips for the body of your speech. If you're telling a story or a lesson, it's a good idea to have a guru or an expert. Not necessarily you, but someone you learned a lesson from. When you make yourself look vulnerable to your audience members and talk about how you failed at something and then you overcame, you're a lot more relatable. You can also set up expectations and change them. Think about how exciting movies are. Would you want to see a movie that you could predict everything about? Or do you like having those expectations change? Practicing the body of your speech. Do not memorize the entire portion. Doing that will make you sound robotic. It will make you sound like you don't care about the audience members, that all you want to do is get the speech done and over with. Instead, memorize your main points. It's a good idea to try to memorize 40 to 60%, and then let the rest of the words come naturally. When you're practicing the body of your speech, practice it all the way through, even if you mess up. Even if you say words that you don't like, you can always go back and change them. But when you deliver your speech, you make pauses where you kept messing up during your practice. Because now you've taught yourself that you want to go back and try again. So when you practice, practice from the beginning of the body to the end of the body. These are all the tips on how to write and practice the body of your speech. In the next lesson, we'll cover the conclusion.